All right, so the next question that Lori asked is, what's the story behind the song Memory Girl?
Well,
not to confuse it with Morning Girl.
Right.
Yeah.
Memory Girl is one of these lost songs that I just found out about when we started the podcast about 3 years ago. And, doing all our research and stuff, I happened upon it. I'm like, what in the world? I never knew that existed.
No, me neither. And I think I maybe heard it once or twice, but I don't like it as much as Morning
Girl, right.
But yeah, Shaun said, this is the first song I ever recorded, which is why I sound like I'm about 11 years old. Yeah, they did speed up the records. Remember, they did the Partridge Family, too.
Yeah, they sped them up because they had an audience to attract.
Welcome to the Shaun Squad Society podcast with your hosts, myself, Cindy,
Doris,
Dame Madonna,
where we invite you to share in our enthusiasm and reminisce about all things Shaun Cassidy.
From his teen idol days to his recent adventures back on the road again.
Please join us for the stories and memories that connected us to those happy days that helped create the Shaun Squad Society podcast.
Hi, Cindy.
Hey.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Well, not a lot changed since, yesterday when I saw you?
Yes. We've been busy.
We have been some busy Shaun Squad Society podcasters. Yes, we have. And today, we're here because, just recently, Shaun posted in his Facebook and social media the announcement of his great-nephew, James David.
Yes, David Cassidy's first grandchild.
Yes, he was born early June, and he's beautiful. He's a cute little guy.
Yeah, he is. So happy for them.
I am. I'm very happy for Bo and Stephanie and all of the Cassidys. So it's a great, great event. But within that post that Shaun put out announcing the birth, he said, hey, you guys, tomorrow I'm going to do a Q&A because I miss you.
Aww.
Concerts have ended. I'm not out there as much. How about if we get back together and you ask some questions, I'll answer them.
Well, we knew he was going to connect, sooner or later. He must have just needed a break.
Yes, and he broke.
And now he's back.
And now he's back. So just yesterday, he posted, Happy Saturday. Let's all pretend we're in this theater together, but instead of music, we're doing a great big Q&A. So we were kind of on the road.
That's kind of funny.
When this came out,
Yeah,
right?
Talking about a theater. We were on our way to a theater yesterday.
For what?
We went to go see a Gary Cole play.
And Gary Cole is, as we know, the one and only Sheriff Lucas Buck from my favorite show, American Gothic.
Oh, yeah, we were so excited.
Yeah.
Excited to see that.
Shaun produced and wrote American Gothic in the 90s. And Gary Cole had the lead role as Sheriff Lucas Buck.
And we just did an episode on the lost episode of the American Gothic.
Our very last dropped episode of this podcast was American Gothic Potato Boy.
Potato Boy, that I don't know if anybody heard of.
It's a lost episode, and we plan to cover a couple more, too, down the road.
Yeah.
But Gary, we're in Chicago, and Gary is from Chicago. And he returned after over 20 years.
I think it was 25 years.
Yes.
To the Steppenwolf Theater in Chicago.
Where he got his start on stage to be in this stage production of a play called Catch As Catch Can.
Yeah, I don't get the title, but it was interesting to watch it.
It was a great play. And we did get to make sure Gary knew we were there, and we got to extend an invitation to the podcast, though not personally, because accidentally we bought tickets for what's called a preview showing.
Right.
It wasn't, the show opens actually today as we're doing this podcast. That was like, let's iron out the wrinkles, bring in an audience, let's do the whole run. And at the end, the actors, the director, everybody get together and they iron out wrinkles.
Yep.
Well, that's why we couldn't meet Gary, because he was busy setting up for the next show, which is that evening.
Right.
And they had some wrinkles to iron.
Yeah, but that's okay because we have an American Gothic script that Shaun signed. So we were lucky enough to get Gary to sign it.
Yes.
So we do have that.
The theater people were so very helpful. The stage manager, the other manager we talked to, and they did make sure to take the script back to Gary, have him sign it. They returned it back to us, and they delivered our package to him.
So at least he knows we were there.
Yes. And that's pretty much a great accomplishment in itself.
Yeah, we had a great time.
Yeah, the play was wonderful.
Yeah.
But during the play, something else was happening that we weren't really paying that much attention to. Shaun's Q&A.
Oh, yes. That had to be at the same time
Yes.
as the play.
It started at 2 o'clock Central Time, which is where we are. And, of course, we were in the middle of the play.
Right.
So,
But we were able to post some questions, and we did let Shaun know that we were headed to a theater, not to
Yes.
see him, but to see the play and Gary Cole.
yes, we
What
did.
a connection.
What? Talk about a connection.
Yeah.
That was a great connection.
Yep.
And we let them know. And we thought, hey, why don't we dedicate this episode, since we weren't really able to follow along live, and some other people probably weren't, why don't we dedicate this episode to going through some of the most popular questions and reading his answers and giving our little intake?
Yeah, because sometimes people don't go through all of the questions. You know, there's a lot of them there. There's over 1,000 posts. So
Yes.
maybe they don't see all of them. So sometimes we like to have these summary Q&As where we kind of go through it for you and ask the question and see what his answer was.
And maybe they were busy just like we were.
Right. So we're just doing a summary to pull it all together.
Yeah. So how about we just kick that off?
Yeah, let's see what the first question is that I could find. It says, which episode of the Hardy Boys is your favorite?
Well, guess what, Cindy? We also feature Hardy Boys episode.
Right.
Right?
And we
So
did,
far, we did the Valerie Bertinelli,
yep, Campus Terror.
Terror. And did we do another one?
Yeah, we did the summer episode,
The Last Kiss of Summer.
The Last Kiss of Summer.
So this is wonderful because now we know what our next episode will be.
Yeah, okay, and this is Shaun's answer. The one where Joe got married, lost his wife, then went on a Charlie Bronson revenge spree.
Last Kiss of Summer. Last Kiss
Yes.
of Summer.
That's what it is.
We just did that
We
one.
featured his favorite episode, and we talked about him having more acting in it. He could show his acting abilities more. He was the main character in that episode.
Yes, he was a little more dramatic. He got to be.
Yes.
He wasn't relying on Frank as much. In fact,
Right.
Frank hardly had anything to do with the
Right.
the revenge spree. He had nothing to really.
Right,
do
it was
with
all Shaun. So we loved that one because of that, and maybe that's why he liked it too.
Yes.
So that was interesting.
Here I was hoping he just led us into our next Hardy Boys episode.
Oh, yeah, nope. He liked the one we liked.
Well, great.
So that was a great pick.
That's a great pick for us.
Yep. All right. So the next one says, I had the opportunity to be an extra on Hysteria. What was Hysteria?
Obviously, another show he produced.
All right. Well, she said, I even had some close-ups that got cut. I thought it was a great pilot and the premise was good. Why did it not get picked up for more episodes? I've always wondered about that. And he says, most pilots don't get picked up. Just the way the game is played, he says. I've been fortunate to see a lot of mine go to series, but it's like baseball, right? The best hitters strike out 7 out of 10 times.
So, from what I'm gathering is he had a pilot out there that they shot. Usually pilots are 3 episodes? I don't know. I'm not from Hollywood, but
Yeah.
from what I remember back in the day, they used to say we had these 3 pilot episodes. They shot them. The network decided we're not picking it
Right.
up. So that's why we didn't know what hysteria is.
Yeah. I mean, so he just keeps moving forward and keeps
Yeah.
pitching the scripts
Yeah,
until one does get picked up.
exactly.
That's the way the game's played, I guess. All right. So the next one, it says, do you really want me to ask you about American Gothic again? Really?
Who wrote that?
So other people, Alan was his name, and he's asking about American Gothic. So there's other people out there too that love American Gothic.
Let me just say this. That reads exactly like something I would have written. Right? Don't those words sound like
Yep.
they could have come right from me?
It does.
Do you really want me to ask you about American Gothic again?
Again, yeah. So he's asking again about it. And Shaun's response was kind of funny. All he said was, it's a lovely painting. I guess of the farmers, right? The
Yeah, with
married
the
farmer
French
couple.
farm- Yeah, that's American Gothic.
So he's kind of being cheeky there, and yeah, thought it was funny. But no more, into that one.
Yes.
But I'm glad somebody asked about American Gothic.
Me too. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, there's a following.
I know.
We have to do some more episodes.
I know. I hope that Shaun can reboot it. That would be nice.
Well, there's the media for it, like the medium, I should say, whatever the word is. It could be on like any kind of streaming platform now,
Right.
Netflix or something
Anybody
like that.
can pick it up.
Anybody could pick it up.
Yeah. That would be nice because it only had one season.
It did. One good season.
Yeah, but it would have been good to continue that. But, that's how it goes. All right, so the next question is, you're an amazing writer of screenplays, songs, etc. Have you ever taken writing classes or have you developed your writing skill by just doing a ton of writing and self-incorporating peer suggestions into your writing? And the side note says, my sister and I loved your Spokane show. Thank you for a wonderful, nostalgia-filled evening. So did Shaun really go to school for this writing?
Well, I would say not. I'd say he was on sets a lot, so
Yeah.
maybe it was like the school of, what do you call it, when you learn as you go there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think he answered this before.
Okay.
So he did say, nope, no classes. But as a young actor, I got to work with a lot of writers and playwrights and learned a lot about structure, character development, and etc. And I found I had a pretty good ear for dialogue, which I think may come from my musical side.
Okay.
Okay, that's a good answer.
There you go. Shaun never went to school, you guys, for writing.
He learned, yeah, I think it started with the Hardy Boys.
Yes.
Because he did say he was in the writer's room a lot
Yeah.
on the Hardy Boys.
And I think that was the first show he ever did. He didn't do shows like before the Hardy Boys where he guest starred on little episodes of other big series. He didn't do that.
Right. Like David did.
Yeah.
Bonanza or stuff like that.
Emergency, Bonanza,
Marcus Welby?
Marcus Welby. It was a bunch.
Yeah. And then he got Partridge Family.
Yes.
But Shaun didn't do that. He went straight to Hardy Boys.
Exactly.
Next question. All of your young life, it sounds like you wrote music to work your way through the issues of life. The last show I saw, you said that when you quit singing, you quit writing music too. My question is, what became your way to work the problems, issues, and responsibilities of life?
Oh, so if he wasn't writing, that was his way of working it out. So what took its place? What took the place of writing?
Right, yeah. And he says, every script I've ever written and I've now written hundreds of them. Has been personal for me in some way. I often write about my family, challenges I'm having, my hopes, dreams, whatever. But the journey is disguised because I create fictional characters to tell these stories. But make no mistake, all of my writing is deeply personal and often therapeutic.
Let me tell you, I told you this whole dark side of Shaun.
Yeah.
I would love to get in his head and see just what is
Yes.
is inspiring invasion, American
Yeah.
Gothic. What the heck, Shaun?
What inspired that?
Where did Lucas Buck actually come from?
Where did he come from? And we know that his first son was named Caleb
Right.
because of American Gothic
Yes.
character.
He loves that show as much as we do.
Yeah.
He he said that more than once.
Yeah. And what was his favorite line from a movie?
Someone's at the door.
I love that. It just sounds so creepy when you say it.
My friend Teresa, who went to one of our recent Chicago shows with us, at the Q&A, she just walked up to him at the end and said, I love American Gothic. And he said, me too. I just want to get into his head and find out where, Shaun, you're writing all these, other type of shows, and out comes that about the sheriff who's dirty and...
Yeah, what's the inspiration for that? What could he have come across that would have made him think about that?
Oh, my goodness gracious.
Yeah, I don't know either. That's very interesting. That would be a good question.
Yes.
I don't even know if he's answered a question like that before.
I don't know that he would.
Yeah. Good question to ask next time, though.
Yes.
All right, so Deanna asked, how are you going to spend your day after this Q&A is over?
Wow.
Well, and he answered it. He gave an answer. He says, I'm at our family's cabin in the mountains of Southern California writing. He's writing again. Yep. Multiple projects. And yes, I will be taking a break to watch the NBA Finals.
Okay, so he did watch that, and it kind of, well, I guess he doesn't have to watch all of the games of the Dodgers, but they were playing the White Sox, which is my favorite team.
Yeah, right?
So I would have, actually, it was a good game.
Yeah.
Because from what I understand, the pitcher for the Dodgers was on the verge of a no-hitter, and the White Sox hit a home run against him and broke his no-hitter.
Oh, wow.
So he wasn't watching that, but he did watch the NBA, which was also a good game.
Yeah.
I don't care about either of the teams, but the way the Knicks won, it was just a good game.
Yeah, it comes down to those last few seconds, right?
Yeah. So we know that's what he was doing after he was writing, whatever this mystery thing is.
Yeah, which
writing
hopefully
for.
we'll find out. Who knows?
Yes.
All right. And the next person, Terry, said, do you still write music? And he said, yes, happily. And then Lish says, think you guys should do a new Hardy Boys. And Shaun replied, Hardy Grandpas? And someone said, yes.
Yeah, he's answered that one a couple of times.
Yeah, he did.
On his Q&A.
Yeah, how would they incorporate them being grandpas now?
There of course could be other people as the Hardy Boys, and they mentor these people in some way.
Yeah.
The way that their dad would kind of help them along.
Right.
Frank and Joe could be kind of helping them along.
Look at Columbo. He was older.
He was older.
I don't think that if they decide to be Hardy Boys, I think they would get away with it.
Yeah, but
at their age,
running around as detective.
Well, they can't run around anymore, but they can walk.
But that's what I'm trying to get at. They could be more of assistance behind the scene, helping with this crime solving,
or they could have kids of their own.
Yes,
and they get together.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. And the Frank and Joe are now more of
like in the dad role.
Yes,
like their dad was in Hardy Boys.
Now you're seeing what I'm saying. Yeah,
he started it, and then the kids took it after that.
But he was always Fenton helped in his own way. That's what I'm saying.
Well, then they could be Fenton then.
They could be Frank and Joe, And these new Hardy Boys can have their own name.
Yeah, that would be fun.
They can't take Frank and Joe from Shaun and Parker.
Right. But a different version. I would love to watch that.
That would be great. I think we just came up with it.
Yeah.
Pitch it, Cindy.
Okay. We'll see if he'll take that.
Throw out the first pitch on that one.
Yeah, right? And this next one, I think he's answered before, too. You probably will know the answer to this one. Angela said, Shaun, if you weren't famous, what career would you have chosen to pursue?
Yes, he has answered that.
He has answered that. And I'll give you a hint. Parker.
Architecture, painting.
Yep. Architecture.
Yeah.
I think he likes the shapes of things or stuff like he said.
Yes.
I'm sure when they were on the Hardy Boys, they talked about that.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So next question from Mary. How are you, Shaun? Will we see you out on tour in 2027? I know everybody wants to know that answer.
Everybody wants to know.
Everybody does.
So what are we thinking or hearing? What's the answer?
I was hoping he would too, but Shaun says that he's good for now. And he's rested, and he's busy, and he's happy. And a lot of people have been calling him about doing more concert dates later in the year. So maybe for the holidays, he'll do one. He says, we'll see how it all lays out. So there's a possibility at the end of the year. Maybe we'll see.
Okay.
You know, he'll be rested. He's doing his work. He might need a break by then.
Hopefully. Oh, the end of this year?
This year, the end of this year.
Oh.
Maybe for the holidays, he said.
Okay, well, we shall see.
But I know he heads out east sometimes during that time.
Yeah, and he does his event at the winery, his holiday soiree. If he does one, then that's going to be around that time.
Oh, yeah, right. Could happen. All right, next question is from Evelyn. Would you ever consider doing a show for HBO for all your fans that didn't get to see you live?
Well, the way I look at it is the performer doesn't consider it. The network, like HBO, the promoter, those kind of people ask them.
Yeah.
You don't go to them and say, hey, I'm ready. Let me do a show for you, HBO.
Right.
You got to be asked.
Yep.
And I don't know if HBO is actually asking. What was his answer?
He says, I feel like I'm writing it every day. Even this is writing my book in a sense, isn't it?
Okay.
Well, like he said, his shows are his book. Instead of writing a book, he wanted just to tell his stories and be in front of us.
You know, that lady was onto something. Because I watch a lot of public broadcasting, and I watch a lot of concerts that were filmed even here at the small theaters, like Shaun was doing.
Right.
We have one in this town called Waukegan, and it's the Genesee Theater, and a lot of shows that I watch on our public broadcasting were filmed there.
Oh.
That would have been so cool if those Arcata and St. Charles shows were... St. Charles and Des Plaines shows were filmed and then rebroadcast on public broadcasting.
Nice.
And the funny thing about it, the owner of those two theaters here in Chicago, Ron Onesti, is directly connected to our public broadcasting station.
Oh, interesting.
Why didn't we think to pitch that to Ron Onesti for the next time?
We still can. We will see about that. And then the next question, I guess her name is Katniss. If you tour again, would you consider adding songs from your Under Wraps LP like Hard Love and Lie to Me? He hasn't done that yet.
Well, no, he hasn't, but he did do my favorite.
She's right.
Yes.
She's right. He did do that one.
Yes.
Yeah. So Shaun says, my nephew Cole, our guitar player, is dying for me to do Hard Love. We did it a few times in the last show, but it felt it was too similar to another song of mine in the show called Break for the Street. But we'll see in the future. So he's leaving the door open.
Okay. I like Hard Love.
Yes. Yeah, I did too. I like that one better than Lie to Me.
Yes.
I think Lie to Me was at the end of the album, and it was kind of like a tag-along song.
That's one of those songs, you know, how you kind of, it goes way back in the
Yeah.
recesses of your mind, then you got to hear it
Yeah.
and go, oh, yeah.
But Hard Love was more
Yeah, Hard Love is, everybody loves that.
of a action-packed kind of sound
Yes.
song. Yeah.
It was rocking for sure.
Yeah, so that would be fun. You know, he can still do tours and sing songs he hasn't sang before.
And I could see Cole liking that one because Cole plays guitar. And that's a great guitar song. That's why he wants it.
Yes. Yeah. That would be fun.
Yeah.
I'll be looking forward to that. All right. The next question is from Candy. And she said, I thoroughly enjoyed seeing you in Riverside, California, even though you suffered from laryngitis. I was a huge fan of your brother David until you came along. What do you miss the most about your brother David?
Oh, he's probably got,
Yeah, he's got a whole list.
He says in his show, he does that whole discussion about David. So he probably, because he had laryngitis, he didn't talk so much in that show.
Right.
But if you were fortunate enough to see either one of his shows from his first Magic or Midnight Sky tour or this one, he does tell a lot about David and what he missed.
Yeah.
So what did he answer?
He said his laugh and laughing with him.
Yeah.
Just as simple as that.
Well, remember, he did talk about that, how they had so much fun. They'd be in there, the lights are supposed to be out in there, and they're playing.
Yes.
And laughing. He said David had such a laugh.
Yes, he did. He liked to laugh. David had a happy personality.
Yes.
So he did laugh a lot and smile a lot. So they had fun together laughing. That's good to know.
That's great.
Good brother relationship.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And the next question is from Deanne. Looks like maybe Deanie. I don't know. Dannne. Did you ever get to meet Elvis? I don't think he's answered that before.
That's a good question.
Yeah. Because I think he's talked about Elvis, but I don't know if he talked about meeting him.
Correct.
So that's a new question. So Shaun says, got really close one time. I had tickets to see him in Vegas when I was 16, but he canceled the show a few days before I was set to go. And this was close to the end for him. And he said he wasn't in the best shape, but had he gone on with the show, I'm certain that I would have found a way to get backstage to meet him. But of course, his mom's Shirley Jones, so I'm sure he would have. Yes.
Yeah, there would have been none of that like us figuring out a way. He would have been backstage.
He could have went backstage, yes. But he also says he's fortunate to spend time with Priscilla, and he likes her very much.
Well, that's nice.
He did meet Priscilla.
Well, there's a connection to why he may have gotten to spend time with Priscilla. Who starred in the movie Elvis? Who was the lead actor?
Oh, yes. Butler.
Yes. There's a connection why he would probably know Priscilla. Because Austin Butler starred as Elvis in the movie Elvis.
Right.
But before that, he starred in Shaun's show, Ruby and the Rockets.
Right. As the son, yes.
As the son. So it's always 6 degrees.
There always is.
So Shaun, of course, probably in some way, or I could be completely wrong, but the connection to me is he stayed with Austin Butler, and throughout the filming or somewhere during the production of the movie Elvis, Shaun had an opportunity to become acquainted with Priscilla. Mm-hmm. I could be completely wrong. He may have known her long before the movie.
Yeah, maybe.
But that's my kind of take on the connection.
And don't forget, his mom and dad did Vegas shows.
Yes.
I don't know if it was the same time Elvis was there, but it was in the 70s.
But it sounds like Shaun wasn't really meeting Elvis or Priscilla back then.
No, but I think he was going to some of his parents' shows. So that was his in.
Right. That's his in, right, to Elvis in Vegas, correct.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Another connection to Elvis and Shaun is kind of a disconnect connection.
Yeah.
Danny Bonaducci, who was, of course, Danny Partridge on the Partridge Family, was a kid actor in one of Elvis's movies.
He was. I think that was his first role.
Yeah.
If I remember right. Yeah.
Yes. So
Interesting.
that's kind of,
Everybody's connected.
it's all these connections.
Yep. So the next person asked if Shaun plans to write and record more songs in the future, go on tour, all that stuff. He says since he began touring again, he's also, of course, wrote the other two new songs, The Last Song and My First Crush. And, he put them on Spotify, Apple Music and all that, which is a new thing for him, which did well. But he doesn't know. He says, maybe I'll put out some new music later this year. We'll see. So there he left the door open again.
Well, if he does, we started a Spotify Shaun Squad Society playlist, the Shaun songs, and we'll just add them to our playlist, and you can download it from Spotify.
Exactly. We have a Shaun Cassidy playlist.
Yes.
We did his set list from his tour.
Correct.
We made a Spotify set list playlist.
Right.
Yeah. So we have that available anytime you want to download it, and we can add to it. The next question basically is asking about his children. Would you want your children to have that crazy amount of fame? Your life had to be crazy for some time and all that teen idol stuff. So basically, he says that all of our lives are crazy as we allow them to become. And he was certainly faced with a lot of questions, challenges, opportunities as a young guy and early on, but he made the decision to prioritize quality of life over just about everything else. And that's probably why he stepped away from that fishbowl, as he calls it. Yeah, I mean, for him, he learned from it, but he won't restrict his kids from doing it if that's what they decide they want to do. Okay. So as long as it's something fulfilling for them, he doesn't mind that. And for his children, he hopes that they will succeed whatever they want to do.
Well, one of them is definitely being very successful in baseball in college. I can tell you
and
that.
His daughter Juliet, I believe, is a producer and an actress.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So they are doing what they do very well.
So I think he's just going to support them, whatever it is, which is good. Yeah. I'm sure his children know what he went through. So
they heard some stories.
Right. So do they want to face that, or they want to just say, no, I'm going to go this way? Like Ryan did. Ryan did not want to do that. He's a set director, and he enjoys that.
But on the other hand, I think a lot of that is not happening so much. So even if they went into acting, singing, I think kind of like how Katie Cassidy did, they would just get in and be themselves.
Right.
And there wouldn't be that hysteria of David and Shaun. Yeah. So I think that his kids, if they go into the business of show, they would get in and do very well if that's what they want to do. But I don't think they would have that mass hysteria. It's just not going to happen anymore.
Yeah, because I haven't seen that since then.
Yeah,
there's been some performers that have a lot of attention, but not like...
Yes, it's just...
back in that day.
Yes.
It's different now.
It's a lot different.
Yeah, which brings us to our next question that Linda asked. These tours have brought you back into the limelight, except now it's social media and podcasts like ours.
Yeah.
So instead of teen magazines, like before, how different is it this time around? Because Shaun lived through that, and now the world is different. And what does he think of it? And he just had a smart aleck comment and just said he has less acne.
And so do we all.
So do we.
Yes.
Yes, we're all different, but we still love them. So things just change as you get through life. All right, so the next question that Lori asked is, what's the story behind the song Memory Girl?
Well,
not to confuse it with Morning Girl.
Right.
Yeah.
Memory Girl is one of these lost songs that I just found out about when we started the podcast about 3 years ago. And, doing all our research and stuff, I happened upon it. I'm like, what in the world? I never knew that existed.
No, me neither. And I think I maybe heard it once or twice, but I don't like it as much as Morning
Girl, right.
But yeah, Shaun said, this is the first song I ever recorded, which is why I sound like I'm about 11 years old. Yeah, they did speed up the records. Remember, they did the Partridge Family too.
Yeah, they sped them up because they had an audience to attract.
The younger.
Yes.
So they made him sound younger.
Yes.
Yeah. So he says it was a hit in the late 60s for a band called Neon Philharmonic, which I never heard of before, ever.
Never.
Never. All right. And his record producer at the time, Michael Lloyd, which we all know, thought it might be a good cover for him for the album.
For that album.
Yeah, and he said it was a minor hit overseas, but never released as a single in the U.S., which we, of course, know that because we just found out about it recently.
And I think they probably decided on Morning Girl for the Shaun Cassidy album and didn't want to put both to start confusing people.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the confusion if Memory Girl and Morning Girl
Right,
were on the
because I thought
same
that right
album?
away. I thought Memory Girl was a Morning Girl.
Oh, my.
So that wouldn't have been a good thing.
So imagine being 13. You would have been all confused.
So I wonder if they had Memory Girl overseas and then they put Morning Girl on there instead because he said it wasn't really a hit.
Who knows?
So maybe they switched it to Morning Girl
Maybe.
because Memory Girl was taken off.
Right.
So, and it sounded similar, so maybe. All right, the next question is to Shaun, did you ever want to be on the Partridge Family? As we know, his mom and his brother were.
They were both there.
Yeah, and I know he visited the set there, too. There's some pictures about that.
Yeah, and there's a blooper, a very funny blooper of him
there
walking
is.
into Shirley's scene.
Yes.
She was none too thrilled about it.
Yeah, that was kind of funny, but he was hanging out with them. I'm sure he learned a lot, too.
I'm sure he did.
Yeah, and he hung out with Danny, I think.
Yeah.
I think Danny mentioned that him and Shaun would hang out when he would visit the set.
Because Danny had to stay with Shirley for a little while because he had an abusive father. So
Right.
Shirley brought Danny into the house.
Yeah.
And they
So-
became kind of buddies.
Yeah, so they all hung out together. So Shaun said, absolutely, he wanted to be on the Partridge Family, but his mom said he had to finish school before he could become an actor. So mom put her foot down, or for anything for that matter, he said.
Well, that's great that she did that.
She wanted him to finish school first. So he was already getting the feelers out there in high school.
He was ready to go.
He was ready to go and saw what David
Yes.
had. Well, of course, remember they joked around saying it was a great way to meet girls.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he met a lot of girls.
You bet.
A lot of girls, yep. So that worked out, but he didn't like that fishbowl. Too many girls, I guess,
Too many.
is not a good thing.
So he didn't get to be on. That's okay though.
Yeah, but he took in all that learning
Yeah.
about being an actor.
Yeah.
So that was good. All right. But as it turns out, he's grateful he took a different path.
See,
So mom knows best.
Mom always knows best.
Yeah, but wouldn't that be interesting if Shaun was on Partridge Family? I wonder how they would incorporate him into it as maybe being Danny's friend or a neighbor or something. I don't know how they would incorporate him in it.
Well, it would have been Danny and Shaun and that other friend of Danny's, Punky Brewster.
Punky
No,
Brewster. Oh, no.
that's
Punky
it.
Brewster was
Another TV
another
show.
TV show, but his name was Punky.
Punky something.
Yes.
Yeah, they would have gotten into something.
Yeah, they would have. So, yeah, that would have been fun.
A little known fact, one of the early pilots Partridge Family filmed had Jack Cassidy as the dad.
Yes.
Before they decided the dad would be dead. And I think somewhere along the way they didn't want to turn it into the Cassidy show. And that's why they
Right.
took Jack out and made her a widow.
She had a date with him or something like that.
Oh, is that it?
Yeah, because then the kids were waiting in the room to hear about it. Yeah.
Okay.
He wasn't the dad. Yeah, she was just dating him. But they never showed it.
No, they decided to take it out.
I mean, we saw the scene, but it wasn't on an episode. Yeah.
Yeah, I found it on YouTube. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
There would have been a lot of Cassidys on that show.
It would have been. I mean, differently it would have turned out. But it was great the way it was.
Yes.
So this was fun.
This was a great time.
Yeah, I love getting into these Q&As and trying to find questions that people haven't asked before, because he always says that, he doesn't want the same question twice. But sometimes we don't know everything that everybody asks.
Right. And you find out something new all of the time.
Yeah, so it's kind of fun going through these questions and, just trying to pull things out that maybe are interesting or we didn't know before.
If you haven't seen them yet, go to Shaun's Facebook page, and all of the questions are there, and the ones he answered are there. Mm-hmm. And you can see for yourself some that you may not have heard here.
Yeah, and he says don't feel bad if you didn't answer it, because he does try to get to as many as he can when he's on there. But sometimes the next day or two, he may answer it too. So keep looking to see if your question got answered, because he did that in the past.
Yes.
So all is not lost.
Not at all. And thanks for hanging out with us. And let's do this again. Cindy, maybe he'll do another Q&A and we can just dive in there and have our little recap of it.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Take care, everybody. Thank you from the bottom of our Teen Dream hearts. Keep on crushing.
Always believe in magic.
And have a peaceful, Shauntastic week. And don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Thread, and subscribe to our new YouTube page.
Make sure to keep in touch with us at our email, ShaunSquadSociety@gmail.com.
The Shaun Squad Society podcast, including past, present, and future versions, and its contents are owned and controlled by the Shaun Squad Society. The podcast is written, produced, and recorded at the Borden Studios, and the views and opinions are solely those of the Shaun Squad Society podcast. We may think we are always right, but we may get things wrong from time to time, so we assume no responsibility for errors of submission of content.